Welcome back, my Planet Coaster friends. Johnny5 Alive here, and we are back with another episode of Coaster Spotlight. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at Dragon Falls by Paul Shore 2. So stay tuned, and let's check it out. So this is another submission. It's a non-placeable coaster today, and this was sent in by Paul Shore. He says, "Hello, I've only recently started building my own coasters. Thank you, Planet Coaster. And I was wondering if any of them would be good enough for you to review on the Coaster Spotlight channel. My Steam Workshop name is Paul Shore 2 Workshop, and my last coaster is Dragon Falls. Thank you, Paul." And there it is. So thank you for your submission, Paul. I base these things off of screenshots, guys. So the more impressive your screenshots are, and we try and switch things up too. This one looked interesting. It reminded me of Skyrim, so I figured why not. And we've had a kind of a running theme with some Viking stuff on the channel recently, so I really like the way this looked at nighttime. Like we've been mentioning this being an ongoing thing lately where people always forget to light things at nighttime. So based off a few screenshots, I was like, there we go. So partially picked this one because of nighttime lighting, and I also picked it because it was something different and it kind of ran with the Viking theme. We've done a few of those in the past, so it got me curious. Let's just put it that way. So here we go. We got this, let's just zoom out and take a look at everything. Okay, so it stretches across the water here. Now, this looks pretty impressive. I would say I really like this area here. You got a lot of detail going on, and I feel like there's a lot of potential here. If you extend that out to certain areas around here. It's feeling a little bit naked over here. You got like a loop here. It might be cool to actually have that going into the mountain. So it goes up into the side of the cliff and comes out the bottom, and maybe have a waterfall. Like it comes out of a waterfall. So I think that would be a really cool idea. And you could play around with that a little bit here as well. I don't know if people know this, but I just want to show you guys something real quick. If you just like, crap. If you grab your pull tool, you can literally just like pull the mountain over top of your terrain. But I'm going to undo that because we don't want to ruin his spotlight. But I think just doing something like that might make some of the areas a little bit more interesting. Maybe even right here. And like I said, right here, it goes into the side of a mountain and comes out of a waterfall. Your park is called Dragon Falls, and I feel like it needs more waterfalls. So I like how it's crossing over the water and stuff. We don't know yet, but I feel like you can use the, if you go into scenery, special effects, water, there's splashes. That's not the one, this one. So as it's coming out of a cave or something, boosh, big splashes coming out. Or maybe as it's coming down here, it goes kaboosh and splashes as you hit the bottom of the inversion. You got some floating mist here. That's a little bit odd. I would probably hide that again. Like you have here, this would be a great idea to hide the mist. Have a giant piece of land going over top the inversion and hiding those triggered events. They also have big spherical splooshes, like this guy. Boosh. Those are really good as well. I like the mist that you got going on down here. However, from the perspective of the rider, you might not be able to see too much of it. Might be good to bring it up a little bit higher or bring the track a little bit lower. We're jumping right into a lot of feedback, aren't we? Nonetheless, let's take a look at this at daytime. Maybe get a better perspective. These boulders feel a little bit repetitive. Just mainly because you've moved them like this, and you can recognize the repetition. So it's always good when you're putting things down to just rotate them slightly and add a little bit of variation in them if you're going to build a big boulder wall like this. But honestly, I think the game does a pretty good job if you use the boulder texture. I don't think you really need to hand place all those rocks. I think it's better used in moderation. But nonetheless, it's a really cool waterfall. I like how the coaster goes up to the side here. And like I mentioned, it would be really cool if the coaster also came out of a waterfall. and that would be a really cool effect. This cave looks pretty interesting. Maybe a few torches in here to help illuminate it a little bit more. You got torches kind of running around your park. These buildings are awesome. I really like them. So this is the boarding station. Yeah, I really love this village you got going on here. I'd say that's your strong part of this coaster slash park so far, is your buildings are really immersive. The stairs, the tucked in boulders. You have a lot of potential here. I love these little bridges that you have going. A couple dragons and what have you. So we don't have any people in this park, but that's okay. It's just one coaster. I think we're going to run it solo today. I don't feel like going through all that rigmarole. Yeah, I would say keep doing what you're doing and take my feedback and continue this park, because I think it has potential. I know this is a coaster spotlight, and I've also mentioned we're not doing work in progress stuff anymore, but this seemed to be a finished coaster. But I think with my feedback and, you know, elaborating on the terrain a little bit further, adding in more coasters, like you could make a big mountain back here and have another part of this park just like this over here, and then have other coasters coming through this area and intertwining, and maybe one coming from the waterfall and back out. I like the design you have going here. I like the theme you have going here. So I think it has a lot of potential, and I think you should continue working on it. I would love to see some bridges going across these different areas. I mean, you can have fun with this. Like, this has got me a little bit inspired, where I feel like it's not living up to its potential. Like, I want to see more of it. It's left me wanting more, which is a good thing. Yeah, I think you got something good going here. And it really looks good at nighttime, and I have to praise you for your nighttime lighting. However, I would also consider doing a little bit more lighting. You have a lot of good lighting in the town, a little bit more lighting around certain areas. And we've done this time and time again on this channel, and you point that at your waterfall, you can get some really cool effects. And you can just hide them in the walls, and that'll be pretty cool. And then if you use some orange torches around it, blue and orange are complementary colors, and that'll kind of add some interest to the eye over there, and some torches running along the sides and whatnot around these different areas. All right, I think we're done talking about it. I did more talking and reviewing in this one than I have in a while. It's been a lot more just jump into the coaster and go, and just more presenting things. So it was good for me to give a little bit of feedback for a change. So I've been itching to kind of give some feedback and talk and look at some art. So let's give this thing a go. Here are the ratings. Excitement 5.25, a fear of an 8.3. So it's a little bit too scary for the people. We will take a better look at that after we ride it. Here we go. We're going to go in seat view. We're not going to have any people on this anyway. Alright. Straight down into a cave. Ooh, some fire. Check out this smog here. Okay, you can see it pretty good here. Alright, it's better than what I thought it was. A little bit more, maybe. Got another booster here. I think that might be causing the fear, that spot right there. It's a very loud coaster. All right. Let's take a quick look at it in cinematic mode, and we'll do this one at daytime, I guess. Switch it up. Nice view there. Beautiful. I think that was a water shot. That's where I would have done a water splash up. And right here as well. There it is. So I must say, I feel like I was a little bit misled. It does feel a little unfinished. We're trying not to do work in progress parks anymore. However, it was good to be able to give this feedback because I think this park slash coaster has a lot of potential based on all those things that I mentioned. I think you can really take this to the next level. However, the coaster itself seems to have a few issues. Now, one thing I thought when we were coming through... I'm going to turn the volume down. One thing I felt when you were coming through here, it felt a little bit weird going up and through here. I feel like maybe an inversion or corkscrew would have worked better. As you're coming up, it turns into that. You guys know what I mean? It goes up and through. Just like that. Kind of coming up and then you're turning, which is okay. It felt a little bit odd. And I feel like you could really push that a little bit more. And this part was okay. Coming through. Another spot that I noticed was kind of strange. Where was it? I think it was coming through here. I think it was going a little bit too fast. Let's take a look at the fear. Yeah, exactly. They're going a little bit too fast. What you need to do is make this bigger. Because it has enough speed to get over something much larger. And so the fear is pretty high throughout here, and especially right here. So the right now is a fear of 8.3. You want to get that down. You want to get this up. It seems like this whole section here is what's killing you, and it's based off of they're getting a lot of speed here, and you're doing a lot of flat ground stuff. Like I said, you could do a bigger pretzel roll or something here. You could probably even get away with a bigger inversion here. And this is just too tight. This needs to all be pulled out into one big loop. You could even have it coming into this mountain and out and then coming around to the land and then back up. You could really stretch this a lot more. And I think that's like your biggest culprit. And here we're also seeing some issues. This is what I was talking about before. Something felt a little bit strange about it. It's a little bit strange here. It's got a minus 1.5, then it goes to a 1.25. There's something a little bit herky-jerky about this bend, as I was saying. So, I think something could be panned out here, because this is where they're getting scared. So, I could probably say bring this up a little bit more into a bigger loop and slow them down a little bit and ease them into that loop. So I clean up this area here. I make this area a lot wider. Run it dry a little bit longer because they have quite a bit of speed coming up through here. Make this area a little bit more interesting. I mean, you could just play around with the terrain a little bit more. Like I said, you could pull terrain over that, make it go through some more caves. It just feels like there's a little bit of wasted potential with these long track pieces and you're not doing much with it. So you could have a couple more inversions and what have you, and some more terrain to travel through. Nonetheless, I think it's a really cool concept. It's a really cool layout. It has a lot of potential, and I think it can be pretty cool in the future if you're continuing to work on it. And as I mentioned, the theme of this town, this whole like fort on a cliff, is a really cool idea. how it's intertwining. You got all these staircases. I think a few more staircases coming down here with some more buildings wedged in the side, and a couple other routes, and make it, you know, a little bit more interesting. Maybe some pathways coming down here and up and around, some bridges going across, and then build out the town a little bit more. I think it's really cool, to be honest, and I think you're on track to making something really awesome. A few more dragons and waterfalls, because this is called Dragon's Fall, and we only saw like one sleepy dragon over here, and he's not even near the coaster. So you could have some dragons on top of these boulders and stuff, and have triggered events so he kind of roars as you go by, and then more waterfalls. I like what you got going on here. I'm repeating myself. I really want to see... I like it. That's what I'm trying to say, is I like it and I want to see more from it. So, good job on that. Your theme and everything has me left desiring a little bit more. I was able to provide some pretty viable feedback, I think. So, looking forward to seeing what you can do in the future. All right, everybody, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Coaster Spotlight. Once again, everyone, that is Dragon Falls by Paul Shore 2. Links will be down in the description as always. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this episode, please be sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more daily Planet Coaster content. And let me know what you guys thought of Dragon Falls down in the comments below. All right, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye now.